It's not an easy week to do a podcast. I actually got a message from you. I was studying on Monday when you let me know what was happening at Covenant School, and it's all that we have seen. It's all that Nashville has kind of experienced over the last couple of days. And unfortunately, although it's new to Nashville, it's not new in our world. And it's just been a heavy week, a difficult week. And I'm sure for you guys, just like it is all of us that have kids, especially young kids, it's added a few extra steps to the week to try to figure out how or what to say to our kids to reassure them that they are safe, to reassure them that they're loved. But I think it's also given us an opportunity to bring love back to the forefront for our kids. I know that taking our kid to school feels different this week. I know that sitting down at a meal, we don't get a lot of time to do that, but we sat down on Monday night, and I remember just holding hands, and my kids didn't know why I was squeezing a little tighter, but I was, because there's evil in our world, and it's difficult to be a part of that. Monday evening, I got a message from somebody in the church because we're in this forgiveness series. And we just spent a whole day on Sunday really diving deep into forgiving hard things. And the message just said, how do we forgive something like this? It's not time to forgive right now, I think. I think there's some time that's mourning time right now, and that's to try to figure out what that looks like. But my answer was, all I know in this very moment on Monday after coming off of Sunday, the only thing that kept resonating in my head over and over and over again was that we just studied a passage where when Jesus told the disciples something that was difficult for them to comprehend, their response was, increase my faith. Mm-hmm. And it was very timely for me to know that this is very hard for me to comprehend. I have no words. I have no explanation. I have no reason to dive down any direction. All I know is that this is so hard for me to comprehend as a pastor, as a father, as a husband, as just a man in this world. It's so hard for me to comprehend that the only prayer that I could pray on Monday night was, increase my faith. Increase my faith. Increase the faith of my family, increase the faith of my friends, and increase the faith of our community and our church. God, increase our faith, because I don't think we ever will know why. We will never know why we have to endure difficult things that are like we endured on Monday. And we'll continue to deal with. But I know that the disciples were wise. It's interesting. I made that statement on Sunday that the disciples usually get a bad rap. Like, we like to hate on the disciples. But it was an incredible piece of wisdom in that moment. And so I've just been leaning into that moment ever since Sunday.
Yeah, it really does feel like we are all hurting, and it almost feels a little guilty to hurt knowing how much more certain people in our community that are really personally affected. And then I just keep thinking about the way that as a community we're having a vigil tonight as a community, and we're doing things to try to bring the focus back to love and back to comforting each other and celebrating the life of those that were lost. And then when you look at those, like, I looked at my children with a thankful heart that I have the time I have with them, that they bring the life and joy into the world that they do. And it has been a week of tough conversations and conversations that maybe we weren't ready to have, but God prepared us to have them anyway.
Lean on that faith. Lean on that faith.
Yeah, and to have faith, not just in the fact that there is a God.
Right.
But faith in the fact that there's a God that wants the best for us and loves us. And I think some of my experience with students this week has been reassuring them that God doesn't want that to happen.
Yeah.
This isn't part of God's plan. This was something outside of that.
Mm-hmm.
And God makes it right. And I keep thinking about how we are about to hit Easter, and that is the moment where God said, enough of this death, enough of this destruction, resurrection.
Yeah.
And that's how God chose to make it right. And I keep trying to point back to the cross and point back to the empty tomb, that we may experience moments in our lives that are like the cross, but there is an empty tomb that comes after.
Yeah, it begs, response. It begs, how do you respond? And people respond in a lot of different ways, but like you mentioned, through prayer and through visual. And I think that response, is looking for ways to extend love in the midst of something that was a hateful act. And we're like, how do you respond in love? What is the love response for you? And, it's finding out what the love response is for you and your house first. Like,
100%.
how do and so we started that conversation, like, how do you respond in love for your kids? But then how do we take that love beyond that? Like, what action step is next? Because there is action to, what we're trying to do. So how do we, put love in action? But yeah, Sunday was good. Sunday was staying in this Grudge series that's been, also a little bit heavy. Sunday was another heavy one, talking about trying to unpack how you forgive really heavy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of what that looks like. And, much like the first week, a lot of phone calls, a lot of text messages, some really cool conversations that extended into Monday night, even about with some different people in our congregation. I made this phone call, and this is how it was received, and thank you for giving me the courage to make that phone call, and stuff like that. But Sunday was also a little longer than anticipated, because there was some acts of the Spirit in the service on Sunday, which were fun to be a part of.
Yeah. It was really cool to be in the room, and I was standing in the very back of the sanctuary, actually, so I just watched people, get up and share, and the way that God was moving was very intentional and very clear. And man, if you weren't in the room, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because it was just cool to see. Kind of reminded me of worship night, right? Like when everyone's just standing around for an hour after, and we're continuing to worship for another hour, because it was just like nobody wanted to miss what God was doing. It's kind of that same spirit of like, oh man, like what's God going to do right now? And so that was cool.
It was good. Dustin might have been a little worried that he needed to pack lunch for the kids.
Yeah.
We went a little bit longer than anticipated.
Since the Grudge forgiveness series, I'll forgive you.
Yeah.
I appreciate your forgiveness.
It was a long service, but we adapted. Very good. Very good.
I love it.
It's a good day.
Yeah, I felt like there was a lot of humility in the room.
Yeah. Good word.
Like people were ready to forgive each other, and really were taking to heart the idea that I'm forgiven, therefore I must forgive. That kind of, or just this idea that we're in this together, and noticing that we may have wronged somebody is an interesting path, because we're always looking at like, well, how do I forgive somebody else? And it's, well, you know what? None of us are perfect, and we've all, whether it was intentional or not, we made some mistakes, and we've wronged somebody. So just thinking through, well, who needs me to be the one that is accepting, like how do I become that person that reaches out and says, hey, will you forgive me for something, which is a little different than your normal thought process of, well, I need to forgive someone else.
Right.
Both of those can be equally difficult.
Yeah. Humility is a good word to sum up the spirit in the room, though. Like, that's because both situations that you just described require humility from the receiver and the giver.
Yeah. Yeah, it really feels like we're leading into Easter. Like,
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like I'm at Easter. We had a meeting
Same.
today with someone, and we were scheduling something out, and I was like,
This
you
month.
know, this month, and they were like, well, it's
I said,
it's
you
March.
mean April,
Talking about
right?
March.
And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I mean, I know like it ends this week, but still, like my mind is already at
Yeah.
Easter, 100%. I'm there, but
This
Easter's a
week
big
is-
time in the church.
Yeah. Well, we have Palm Sunday coming up this Sunday.
Yep.
We're going to hear what the Lord's laid on Pastor Dustin's heart, which I'm looking forward to. And then we've got Good Friday next week, which leads us to our annual egg hunt, which I'm super excited because it's the first year that I get to watch my son actually like walk around. Last year he couldn't walk at the egg hunt.
Nothing better.
Yeah, so I'm super excited about that. And then that leads us right into Sunday, 7 a.m. sunrise service on the front lawn, and then our regular.
Why do you think it is we do such, like, we make like this week-long big deal about it? Like, what is the big deal with Easter that like is this week? You know what I mean? This is the week. You really get Easter and Christmas as your two.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, obviously we know why from a Christian standpoint, like why Easter is so big. But I
why
think
do we pick?
there's so much intention, and we've said this before, right? Like every church has their signs out right now. Every church has, their egg hunt signs or their signs in the front yards. Or I saw a sticker on the back of somebody's car this morning that was like, my Easter egg hunt, whatever. I mean, my church for Easter, because
That's kind of cool.
because I think the whole world is more receptive this 1 week. I had a conversation with a dad at a ballpark, if that, shocks you, I'm sure. We were talking about our upcoming schedule, and I said, well, we don't have games next Sunday because it's Easter. And he was like, listen, you can't play ball on Easter. And I was like, well, I know that they've had. He was like, no. He was like, I get it. Like, an afternoon softball game, like, every now and then on Sunday as the Lord's Day. But this was his words. He was like, every Sunday is the Lord's Day, but Easter is the Lord's Day. And I was like, well, that's an interesting, perspective from, somebody that, like, is, going to church and that's part of their life. But I think he's right. I think everybody that maybe is not a faithful attender or, wouldn't consider themselves like all the way in, like when it comes to church. I think when it comes to Easter, though, everybody's all in.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I think from, I said this a couple Sundays ago when I was doing announcements with you, but it's definitely the time, like, if you've been teetering on, should I invite my neighbor? Should I invite this family member should I invite this coworker? Like, it's the time where people are the most receptive, I think, to accepting an invitation to church.
Gives you a reason to invite them.
Yeah.
It's like, they know whether or not they've experienced the church. They know there's something special going on at Easter, bigger than the Easter Bunny eggs and
well, and I think
candy sale.
Parenting in a tech world.
Yeah, I love that.
Reference to your Sunday school class, your elective you're teaching right now. One of the things that it may seem really silly, but like everybody wants a picture with their family on Easter. So even if I see people that on my Instagram feed and my Facebook feed that don't really go to church ever, but just come the Sunday. I'm not saying they just come for the photo, but they want that photo with their kid or with their dad or their mom or their siblings. And even if they don't go to church, they're still going to go,
the Lord's Day.
Yes. So it's
Are Easter outfits still a big thing? Like, do you still go buy your Easter outfit?
I would say
That's a good question.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think you're definitely dressing up a little bit.
Yes, but not the same way it was in the past.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it's not necessarily how dressed to the nines, like, great you can look as far as like most dressed.
Sure.
It's like how well your family
coordinates.
Goes together.
That's right.
There's
and
a
can
coordinating
you put
thing?
the right pastel colors in?
Cool.
What's the big trendy color that year? I don't know.
What is it this year? Do you know?
I just said I don't know, but if I had to guess, I'm gonna go with pink. I feel like everyone is always wearing some kind of weird pink or there's some kind of
weird pink.
touch of a little like pastel-y pink going on,
All right.
and on all the church signs. It's like for some reason we
including
throw
ours.
that pink color in there at Easter.
I've heard Dusty Roses.
Oh,
okay.
Dusty Rose.
Dusty Rose.
I'm going to
Sounds like
expect
a
you on
country
Easter
song.
Sunday
Dusty
in a dusty
Rose.
rose.
I think that's also called mauve.
Well, that is the color that our church used to be also.
It used to be like, new suit for Easter.
That's right.
New tie for Easter. That kind
We
of
can
deal.
get a new tie and a new suit for Easter.
I mean, that was the thing. I think now it's like new shirt.
New
is
button
good.
down.
Like that's like you're there.
Yeah, last year was the first time. So Eli was born 2 years ago, the day before Easter. So he's an Easter baby. So last year was really our first. Last year was our first Easter Sunday at church. So him and Tate matched, and they were all cute. So I'm gonna try to carry that on this year. I haven't picked out his outfit though, just mine.
If I could get Cohen to wear a suit, I would totally match him. But no way.
Was Tate's outfit a onesie last year? Did it?
No, opportunity missed though.
Okay, that would have been awesome.
I want a photo of
onesie.
that. I want to see the Easter photo
would've been
of
awesome.
the matching onesie.
I love it.
Seersucker, that's a big Easter.
Yes, gingham.
Nice.
There you go.
Gingham and seersucker too.
Always out there in the style world.
Yes.
Wow, the fact that I don't even know what those 2 words are. They sound like candy.
Yeah.
Says
I'm
a lot,
assuming it's
doesn't
not
it?
a candy.
I think it's
Is it
because
a shoe?
you've
Like,
got
what is
two,
it?
It's a
two
suit.
teenage girl dads.
Those are like names of suits.
It's that suit that's like the blue and white, like really tiny pinstripey look. You know what I'm talking about?
like pinstripe.
No.
It's a different
like,
material.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll show you a picture.
Wear it.
That's right. You want me to wear seersucker?
I think so. If I don't know what it is, but I feel like you.
I do not plan on wearing seersucker.
Do you have a seersucker suit?
I think I have a seersucker jacket.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure in the back of my closet somewhere.
When we release this podcast, there's going to be at least one person that sends John their photo from forever ago in a seersucker suit.
You know,
Maybe-
that's
maybe
actually
somebody-
a good idea.
Yeah.
We should do like a social media thing, like a old
Past
Easter
Easter outfits. Okay.
outfits.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I like
that
it.
Could be
That could be
fun.
our
All right, if
challenge
you want to send
this
me
week.
your, if you want to email me or text me your
That actually could be a lot of fun.
old
Yeah.
school Easter outfits.
Let's do that.
Easter.
Look for the marketing campaign. We're gonna put that together. Send in
gotta-
your
I just
old-
want to see everybody's
your
old Easter
Yes.
outfits. That would be good.
Bonus points if it has seersucker. That way I can learn a little bit.
Yes, I love it. Or gingham.
That sounds like a great place to eat, like Mongolian food.
Ooh.
Gingham's Grill or something.
I think that was Genghis
Genghis.
Grill.
Genghis
Yeah.
Genghis. No,
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
Pretty
that's a
close.
wonderful place to eat.
That is. That's one of my favorites.
I'm not surprised that the podcast has led us to
We're back to
talk
food again.
about
We're
food.
always talking about food. It's weird.
And talking about Easter, so you got like new clothes is
Mhm.
typically a tradition.
Yes.
Are there any other traditions in your families, like any things that y'all do? Maybe you did growing up that you carried on.
No matter how many egg hunts we go to, we have to have a family egg
yes.
hunt.
Okay,
You know,
Same.
like we could go to 100 church egg hunts. It wouldn't matter.
but you're
Right.
doing an egg hunt for
we got to
two.
do the family egg hunt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's my kids. Whoever's got the little kids still in the
Okay.
family, you
Yes.
know, and that's a fun tradition. But you know, we still do the golden egg. I don't know if you're planning to do a golden egg situation for the children this coming Saturday or what, but
Maybe I need to now.
Okay, just on that. Do they even know
What's in the golden egg?
Oh, it could be.
win it
Usually,
the
it's
prize.
the big prize.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
it's like
Yeah.
whatever your big ticket. Get the kids' eyes glowing, like you know they're fighting each other, trying to run around.
Trip to Chuck E. Cheese is in the golden
Oh
egg.
man,
Oh,
could
yeah.
be.
Or a big gift. Like when I was a kid, I remember it was like a big, just decked out gift basket. And
Yeah.
I will tell you
That fits in the
sad
egg.
Easter story. When I was like probably 7 or 8 years old, I got the most eggs one year, and another little boy. I know he lied, y'all. He lied. He lied to my
On
children.
the Lord's Day, you can't be
No,
lying.
it was Saturday. It was
Oh,
the day
oh,
before.
Saturday.
Yeah. She-
Saturday doesn't count in Holy
We
Week.
could allow it
He
on
lied,
Saturday.
and he got the basket, and I went to my Gigi, and I was crying, and I was like, he lied about it. And she said, I know, baby, it's okay. Maybe he needed it more than you. And I was like,
Wow.
Lesson learned.
I know. Jesus
In
duped
humility,
me.
actually. Yeah, there you go.
See, it's all about humility. It comes back.
Comes all around. Dustin, family like traditions.
With teenagers now, it's not like it used to. We used to do the egg hunts, and
Do you have Easter baskets still?
Mm.
no,
What
I
do they
don't,
wake up and get?
I don't think we do. I don't hope I don't get any shaming for that. But
Oh.
we don't do the Easter baskets. We haven't done them lately. Maybe we need to do that again.
Some little peeps under the pillow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Sneak them in.
I don't know. I don't know. I mine's farther back. I remember when I was a kid, we were up at my grandparents' in Indiana for Easter for some reason, and I had this one uncle that would hide eggs for all of us to go egg hunt, and he kept putting money in them.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
yes.
But we had like multiple rounds of this egg hunt, so I was like, "Keep it coming, Uncle. Keep it coming." And so, any ideas you want to slip some money in the
You're
eggs
making
this year?
bank?
Oh
I
yeah.
know.
On the Easter egg. Huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh, my
That
goodness.
stands out to me for some weird reason as a memory.
Well, I think I want to go to your family's egg hunt
Yeah.
as an adult. That's awesome.
I don't do that now. but I did that then. Yeah.
That's awesome.
How about you, Pastor Jay?
Well, I was going to give Bree a shout.
Yeah, so we do an egg hunt, like kind of like John and the family, whoever's the baby or the youngest, if we have little ones around. So we will do an egg hunt, and my big thing is what we're gonna eat. Like there better
For
be
Sunday
ham,
dinner.
ham,
big Sunday
deviled
dinner.
eggs, and rolls like have to happen. John just
You don't like ham?
No, I love
deviled
ham.
eggs.
Oh,
I said
Look
deviled
at me,
eggs.
I love ham.
I meant
It's the
not
eggs.
deviled eggs.
It's the deviled
Heaven's eggs.
Yeah, can you have
Oh
a
yeah,
deviled
yeah.
egg
We
on
can't be
pizza?
calling them deviled eggs. in
I
church.
didn't know we didn't call them deviled eggs. I didn't know that was a thing.
You can't call them deviled
Some
eggs.
people
sure,
don't
deviled
call them
eggs.
On
deviled
the
eggs.
Lord's Day, you're having deviled
The
eggs.
Lord's
The
Day.
Lord's
Lord's
Day.
Day.
Is there another name for them?
I,
Like,
they're heaven's eggs?
I feel
Heaven's
like I've
eggs.
heard some
Jesus' eggs.
yeah, Jesus eggs or something.
I-
People are
drop it in the comments.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
what do you
not-
call them at
that's,
your house?
that's a good one
I
for the
have not
comment
heard
section.
that. Other than they're great.
How could you-
I love them.
How could you Jesus juke the devil's eggs?
So eggs.
Easter
Did
baskets.
you guys ever? Did you hunt real eggs?
Oh yeah.
Why though?
No,
No.
you didn't hunt real eggs.
No.
No.
Oh, it's always been plastic eggs.
Yes.
Dustin, you hunted real
Oh
eggs.
yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
color eggs at your house?
Yeah,
I did when I was a
but
kid.
you don't hunt
Okay.
them afterwards, right?
Oh yeah, we would.
They're on
we would
display for
What?
like.
we would hard boil all the eggs.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, and then we would color them
Dip
like the night
them and-
before,
Yes.
and then we would go put them everywhere. And actually,
That's hilarious.
to make this even
Bro,
more like you're.
What if you don't find one?
We did this when we lived in Florida. Okay, so you keep them in the fridge until it's time, and then they go out and they hide them, just like you would hide plastic eggs. But the tradition of my family growing up was you would go find the eggs, and then everyone would eat them, like the hard-boiled eggs, like
Uh-huh.
afterward. Like we'd sit around and eat the hard-boiled eggs.
Gross.
Ew.
But in order to open the hard-boiled egg, you would take the egg and you would pop it open on somebody's head. That was our tradition. It's what we did. And
Is this like-
you're nodding. Like,
Is this like an egghead family thing y'all do?
What?
No.
Oh.
That
was-
must be a Florida thing.
It was an Underwood tradition, and Easter was massive. Like it was like family reunion time at Easter. So like
I
everyone
don't,
would come
I don't
together.
like that feeling.
Everybody went to
Peeling it
grandma's
off.
house, and then you would hunt the real eggs, and you would like pop, and then there'd be like salt shakers on the table. You like peel off the eggs, put a little salt on the egg.
Yeah.
No.
No shame.
Egg.
But what happens if you don't find an egg and it's just chilling in the house or out?
Well, you'll find it.
Lawnmower fight.
Eventually.
You'll find
okay.
it with a lawnmower in a couple weeks.
And or you'll smell it.
So-
yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
rotten eggs all over your
that
house. sounds
that
great.
tradition is like it's still like if we go to Underwood, like somebody will make a carton of real eggs.
Okay.
Like 100%,
Oh.
and do it. But one year, not too long ago, somebody forgot to hard boil the eggs,
Ooh, there you
and
go.
they colored them and then hid them, and
Forgot.
so literally,
No. What a
great prank.
literally, thankfully, I didn't pop the egg over someone's head. But when I picked the egg up, like this, with my kids, like my kids are there, and I picked it up, and it just right in my hand. I was like, hey, who didn't hard boil the eggs? Like, I'm a little frustrated at this point.
Oh
They
my
ruined Easter.
goodness.
We didn't hard boil the eggs.
Oh.
You ruined
It was
Easter.
me!
On the Lord's Day.
We forgot on the Lord's Day the tradition.
I can't believe that.
I found my own egg, and I was like, I think we didn't hard boil our own eggs.
Oh no.
So nobody
Yikes.
popped those over anybody's head.
What a great
Yeah.
story though. That's a fun.
I'm telling you, Easter
tradition.
traditions are fun.
Yeah.
Do you still get the girls Easter egg baskets or Easter baskets?
Yeah, we get Easter baskets.
Yeah.
And at our house, like we changed the tradition. When I was growing up, Easter baskets were just out when we got there.
Yeah.
The family tradition for Stephanie was they had to find their Easter basket. Like you would
Oh.
You
find
mean
eggs.
from the Easter Bunny? Let's not ruin anybody's.
I don't know if I want to go there, whether there's an Easter bunny or not.
You're not sure?
Oh,
Oh,
Well, I think it's because some people might have Easter bunny, but your parents might do the Easter egg basket. You know.
well, who's laying the Easter eggs if not the Easter Bunny?
oh, my parents are putting the eggs out there.
Yeah.
100%.
Same.
100%. No, so when the girls come down, they have to go find their Easter baskets. So they're like hidden in the house.
Oh, cute.
And then it's a pair of shoes or whatever else.
Yeah.
Also, do you guys do this? We learned this from another pastor. Easter is a busy day,
Yeah.
right? Like it's a very busy day. So we followed another pastor, and their Easter baskets all came out on Saturday.
Aw.
Like-
Yeah.
Bad idea.
Sure.
So because Sunday morning we got sunrise service, we're
Yeah.
going. You're kind of
Yeah.
missing those moments with your family.
Yeah.
That's great.
So we had to adapt. Like
And nobody's
That's
going to complain about getting their stuff a little early. either.
Definitely
I don't think
not.
so. Yeah.
Wow, that's a great idea. Especially now that you're making us get here at 6.
Making.
I mean, requiring. What? How did you say it?
Making, requiring.
Allowing
Allowing
us
us to join you at 6 a.m.
I think that Brendan.
No, I just mean the
then,
staff.
so.
I don't think it's mandatory. Is it mandatory for the church?
It's not mandatory for the church. I don't think church is mandatory for the church. I don't know, except for that guy I talked to the ballpark that said the Lord's Day.
Right.
I think it is mandatory. I heard someone say everyone should be in church on Easter Sunday.
There you go.
With a deep enough voice.
You
It
did
sounds
do that
mandatory.
Sounds mandatory.
Yep, you should be there on Easter Sunday.
Yeah. Well, it is weird when you think about how we got into egg. We got on a bunny and we got on eggs, but
I don't know where
Man.
it came from.
the main thing is that you get like a big old cross made of chocolate.
I was going to say the
Chocolate
chocolate
cross.
cross.
You gotta get a chocolate cross.
You mentioned chocolate crosses. I'd be interested to know everyone's favorite Easter candy.
Oh, I thought you were going to make a dig at me.
No.
Oh.
What?
We have organic Skittles. They're called Giggles.
Giggles.
Wow.
They have no red dye 40 in them.
Oh
But
child.
they're actually really good.
I bet. They come from Whole Foods too?
Take your word for
Amazon.
Am-
So
Back to Amazon.
This
This is the
portion
kind of
is
stuff
brought
we
to
deal
you
with
Really
here in the
can't get
office.
anything on Amazon.
you really can. Yes.
Apparently.
Wow.
Bree's like, I'll get you a snack.
Okay, so besides
It's not Skittles,
the
it's
giggles,
Giggles.
besides the gig, I'm dying. Besides the giggles that you're feeding your child, do you have a personal favorite candy that you allow yourself to eat?
Whatever he gets, at the egg hunt, I'm sure I'll eat.
Okay.
But I don't have a personal favorite now.
Yeah, are you putting giggles in
I
the church?
don't have giggles in the eggs.
Bummer.
Maybe I should look into that.
You might after this podcast.
You might
Maybe.
refilled her eggs with giggles for everybody out
Do
there.
they make little fun-sized packs?
Yeah, that's what we got him. It's like a
Okay,
big
okay.
pack of little packs. So
All right.
we actually got him for his birthday because, as I said, he's an
I
Easter baby.
think it's a requirement. We should have done a taste
Oh, yeah,
of
we're
your
definitely
giggles.
gonna
I wish we had your
man.
giggles. We'll have to do that
Right.
sometime.
Okay.
We have to
That'd be
taste.
good.
Bree, you have a lot of items that we would be a true
Are we
reaction of
interested?
taste. I don't know. We're not interested, but
She
dry
has a
edamame
natural
beans is not
replacement.
my snack of
For
choice.
everything that you enjoy in life, Bree has a natural replacement
Healthy
that took
alternative.
all the stuff out of it that made it good. So-
Okay, saying really quick. One day, Brent was here and he was saying, "Man, I want." We were all here. Man, I just need a snack, and I was like, "Oh, I just filled up the break room with more snacks, and I had edamame beans in there." And Brent goes, "I don't want no beans," and that is now a joke, a standing joke in our house.
There's a lot of staff jokes that come out of the snack room.
Yes.
Well, it did used to be like straight
Fruit
sugar
roll-ups
before.
and-
Well, it wasn't actually. We didn't have fruit roll-ups.
I was being dramatic.
We did have a lot of blow
Fruit
pops.
roll-ups?
We had a
We-
lot
we
of
had a
blow
lot of
pops.
pops.
Man,
That's
I
true.
miss those days.
I got us organic sucker.
There it is.
Yeah.
Just
Organic suckers.
You did.
Just
That is not a blow pop.
I
The
thought
same
they
way
were
I'm pretty
good.
sure that giggles are not Skittles, but you know.
I guess I
Giggles.
can't knock it till I try it.
That's
so.
true. I'm gonna
What-
bring it.
do you like
tomorrow.
Peeps? Is that your thing?
Oh man, Peeps are interesting, right? Because it's like
Yeah.
a marshmallow, but like they got more sugar in it somehow.
Yeah, I don't like Peeps.
I don't like Peeps either.
No.
What about
too
you?
much. Too much sugar for you?
Not a Peep fan.
That's not my favorite.
Yeah, they're just
They're
gross.
just
sweet.
when I think of Easter,
Yeah.
boy, the Peeps are just like they sparkle, like they're a duck.
Yes.
Like it's cool. I'm assuming that's a duck.
I don't know what it
It's
is.
a.
I think it's supposed to be a chick.
I think
a
they make
chick.
them in bunny form too.
multiple.
Oh, it's
multiple
like
levels.
yeah.
What about you, Dustin? What's your favorite Halloween?
Anything
Halloween.
shoved full of Reese's.
There you go.
Reese
Reese's.
cups.
Yep.
Reese's
the
cups.
Reese egg.
Oh yeah. The more peanut butter, the better.
Okay.
Yep.
The Reese egg.
I'm in.
That's the one.
I'll double down on that, and I'll do the white chocolate Reese egg.
Yes.
Oh.
The one that's the white chocolate on the
Yes.
outside with peanut butter on the inside.
That does sound
And
good.
pro
I could go
tip,
for one.
they're much better if you put them in the freezer. Then
Yes.
enjoy
Yep.
Agreed.
I'm there.
them. Delicious.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Not that I've had a lot of those.
man, you know, I mean, you don't want to freeze them all the way, right? Is it?
Oh yeah.
Oh
you
no,
freeze
freeze
it
them all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, freeze them all the way.
Have you ever had a frozen then mint?
No.
Mm-hmm.
That's good
Very
stuff.
Best
Very
Girl
good.
Scout cookie.
Very good.
Oh, now we could argue about that because I'm a Samoa guy, but that's fine.
Well, there you have it.
We've gone through it. We've covered a little bit Easter. It's on us. Easter is here. Palm Sunday. So
Yeah.
we're gonna start Holy Week
Yeah.
and then get going. I don't think we're off podcast next week. Are we taking the week off?
Yeah, I think we're just gonna give everybody time with their family. We're off.
Okay.
We're not doing a
That
podcast.
means us. Yeah.
Well, just anybody because they got to watch it.
Oh.
like
Yeah,
we
we're
got to
giving
film
you
it,
guys
but they got to
tips
watch
for
it.
you
So
guys,
they're doing
really.
all the work, really. And then no services on Wednesday is a
Yep.
big one that that we're going to have that Friday service, and we're going to have stuff going on Saturday, and we just really want to
All day Sunday.
keep the main thing next week. So.
Yep.
That's true. Well, good. Like I said to start this thing, it's not an easy week to do it.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking some time to do it. I think prayer is what we need to continue to do. Lean into our faith and celebrate the fact that Easter's coming.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's more than new clothes and our favorite Easter candies, man.
And giggles.
Yep.
And
And giggles.
giggles. It's why our feet hit the floor. So
Yep.
awesome. Hey, we love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Have a great week.
See you later.